So I turned 40 this past summer. Yes, I will say 25. I will take that, yes. And for my birthday, I decided that I wanted to Viva Las Vegas. Now, this would not be my first time. Oh no. My most infamous trip to Las Vegas ended with a man 25 years my senior proposing marriage. I remember it well. Teddy and I had been seeing each other for a year or so, and he thought it was time for us to take a trip. We discussed Rio, we thought about Cancun, and finally, I suggested Las Vegas. In hindsight, I clearly made the wrong decision. But I was 21 plus 1. That was his nickname for me, 21 plus 1. Anyway, at 21 plus 1, Vegas seemed like the ideal place to be. We were having a decent time in Sin City, right? And then the day before we headed back to Chicago, Teddy and I go to lunch. And he gets down on one knee, holding nothing more than thin air in his hands. And he reaches for my hand in marriage. I thought that joker was absolutely crazy, or at the very least, completely drunk. When I didn't respond, he said, "Well, will you marry me?" The only response I could think to give at that moment was, "Where's the ring?" To which he replied, "Baby, if you say yes, I will buy you any diamond your heart desires." "No, that's all right," I said. My suitor was despondent, to say the least. But he soon realized that my rejection was the least of his worries. You see, he had recently had a hip replacement, and he wasn't quite back up to full recovery. As he attempted to erect himself from the kneeling position, he became unable to maneuver his hip well enough to stand. I had to flag down a waitress to help me get him off the floor. The only thing I could do to spare his ego at that point was order him a drink, kiss him on the forehead, and walk away. Yeah, I did that. Yeah. You see, the big picture was I wanted to go to Las Vegas. But had I been paying attention to the details, I would have known that Teddy was poorly planning a proposal trip. So it was with this previous experience in mind that I embarked on yet another journey to the desert with 1,000 devils. I knew that I had to shake off the memories of that outrageous overture and focus on my 40th birthday wish, to be free. Free of the 36D over-the-shoulder boulder holder, that is. I wanted to bask in the sun, fully nude, from the waist up. With you all melanin-challenged women out there. I wanted to feel the rays of nature's heat source on my bosom. I desired that evenly bronzed glow on my breasts, as well as my shoulders and face. No caramel, mocha-colored tits with a coffee, no sugar, no cream-colored tummy. But somehow, along this journey, I lost focus. I overlooked the details. Once in Vegas, I purchased this so-called V-card that gained my entrance into several pool parties. Yes, I thought, surely there would be freedom at the daytime pool parties. So, I went to the first one. I looked around. It was seriously overcrowded. There were way too many 20-somethings in there. And there was nowhere for me to romp around freely. I left quicker than I could say, where there are no boobies to see, there is no RC. This was Vegas, right? On to the next party. This one had several huge pools, was much less crowded, had a DJ who was jamming on the ones and twos, and had a few 30-somethings lingering about the bar. I found a spot to sit and allowed me to scope out the entire lay of the land. Maybe there was an area roped off for sunbathing. That was a no-go. Well, Every morning, I decided to get up, walk up the strip to Denny's, have breakfast, then hit a pool party, only to find that there was no freedom in sight for me. By mid-afternoon, I'd be ready for a nap, and in the evenings, I'd take in a show and find some grub. You might be wondering why I didn't just abandon the entire idea of sunbathing in Vegas, but if you are, you don't know me very well. When I get something in my mind, I just can't let it go. And I typically get what I want. This time, however, I was afraid that I would walk away empty-handed. I don't gamble, not even in Vegas. And even though it's legal there, I have never, and doubt I will ever be, a 420 kind of girl. And I mean, how many strip clubs can you go to before everything starts to blur? All I wanted to do for my 40th birthday was go to Vegas, sit by the pool, and let the tatas slide to the left, slide to the right. Feeling disappointed that I didn't achieve my #1 birthday goal, I decided to check out the pools at the hotel where I was staying. The entire time I was there, I hadn't even considered checking them out. After getting lost on my way through the hotel, I finally found the pool area. A gentleman handed me a towel and told me to enjoy the 9 pools offered at the Grand Caesars Palace. I stepped onto the other side of those glass doors, separating the coolness of central air from the heat of the desert sun, and I immediately saw it. What I had been looking for over the past few days was right under my nose all along. I had never even considered reading the details of what was offered at my own hotel. Caesar's Palace had a topless pool area. Eureka! With literally only 45 minutes until my Uber arrived, I put one hand behind my back, popped my top off, and walked through that gate free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last! I was the first person in that pool, and since I didn't have a lot of time, I immediately jumped right in. I let the water tickle my top half, grabbed a ball, and tossed it to a guy sitting alone poolside. "Hey, you want to play?" I said, boobs jiggling like plastic grocery bags full of oranges. But I didn't care about that. However, a blonde, not so busty woman who I hadn't noticed earlier did care. The president of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee quickly tossed the ball back to me, said, "No thank you," turned around to face her man and blocked him from seeing me so free. I guess the devil really is hidden in the details.